Today's teachers are faced with a variety of challenges. Students show up to the classroom disengaged and distracted, which increases the potential for crisis and greatly diminishes the chances for optimal outcomes. The obstacles faced by our youth today are overwhelming. For some, it's the achievement trap, and for others, it's a learned helplessness. Many have lost their sense of self, which has created a debilitating discouragement. The pendulum swings from an inflated sense of entitlement to the poor me defeatist attitude. The results have become catastrophic, resulting in behavioral challenges, lower academic achievement, faulty thinking, low self-esteem, self-doubt, and condemnation. Elementary students in a local school district took an emotional screening test, and the results were very discouraging. Each day, our students are involved in a civil war. It's a war that takes place in their minds. Therefore, the mind is the battlefield. The brain processes between 45 and 60,000 thoughts per day, and up to 80% of those thoughts are repetitive. At any given moment, our students are either selling themselves on themselves or selling themselves out. It's important that our students learn how to make good thinking a habit. By conditioning the student's mind for success, students will develop the proper framework for decision making, develop accurate perceptions, healthy emotions, wholesome desires, and honorable intentions. Hello, my name is Charmis Lee, co-owner of Building Champions and co-founder of Achieving Competitive Excellence, also known as ACE. I've been involved in the lives of the youth of El Paso County for over 32 years, motivating, educating, and inspiring them to develop a sense of greater expectations within themselves. My connection to academia goes back to the 1990s when I worked as a special education technician at the Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind. I've worked as a structured mentor and instructor with cohorts of students in primary, secondary, and post-secondary education. As a coach, I've eclipsed the 10,000-hour rule 2.5 times, positively impacting the lives of thousands of students and student athletes along the way. Through this process, I've developed Achieving Competitive Excellence, a social, emotional, developmental model that improves emotional intelligence, emotional regulation, self-efficacy, and the skills of focus and concentration. It's been over 50 years since I walked the halls of my alma mater, John Adams Elementary, but I've returned and partnered with teachers, administrators, and intervention specialists in an effort to help improve student outcomes and develop a new generation of student champions. Education is a gateway for upward mobility. Using our proven coaching model, Think, Say, Do, we seek to create an equitable educational experience for each student by fusing a teacher's passion, knowledge, skills, and abilities, and the latest accomplishments in neuroscience, and the 595 rule of human performance. By driving the student's attention forward, we will disrupt systemic cycles of faulty thinking and create a new generation of champions, highly disciplined students with disciplined thoughts, followed by disciplined actions. Psychologist Ken Hinchin suggests that the skills of concentration and focus are perhaps the most of all the psychological skills to affect actual performance. How ACE works. Brain research says that attention is like a magic key that unlocks high-order brain circuitry. When we pay attention to something repeatedly, the necessary wiring is formed that makes it possible to learn new things, take the right actions, and achieve our goals. Research shows that driving that attention forward through repetition is critical to establishing new neural pathways, new connections, new learning growth, and insights. Using our proven coaching model, sessions are instructed in such a way that enables students to attune, inhibit, and remember, which support the brain's 3 executive functions. In other words, we are training our students to be able to focus on something specific, stay on track by not focusing on other input, maintain a continuous awareness of relevant information at all times. Data supports that upon completion of the ACE training, students could better regulate their emotions, were less disruptive, and more motivated to learn. ACE students learn to operate from the strength of their high selves, becoming more focused, persistent, and resilient. They are more likely to achieve positive outcomes and engage in positive reappraisal, finding meaning and benefit in the adversities of daily life. Let's see what the experts have to say. There are several components used in the ACE model that ultimately become habits. Each component is implemented in a way that allows the student to understand and retain information. We call it habit stacking. ACE is designed to teach students how to analyze situations in real time and make the best decision at the moment. From the perspective of emotional intelligence, utilizing the think, say, do high-performance mental mastery model in a moment of crisis or challenge teaches the student to pause, reflect, and not give in to impulsivity, confusion, anxiety, or a defeatist attitude. According to Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor, Austrian psychiatrist, and neurologist, between stimulus and response, there's space. In that space lies the power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. We are teaching our students to pause. Okay, it's time to warm up the students' imaginations, give wings to their dreams, and bring their academic prowess to life. Come check out an abbreviated sample session and see how we use the bright lines and mental mastery components.
Good morning, students. This is Coach Lee. I hope all is well. It's great to see you this morning. I'm very excited about today's lesson. The name of today's lesson is Keep Your Eyes on the Shoreline. Sounds interesting. Before we get started, someone raise their hand and share with the class our one and only rule. Thank you for raising your hand. Respect the speaker, that is correct. What does respect the speaker mean? Fantastic. Why is that important? Fantastic.
Respect the speaker is what we call a bright line, which by definition is a clear, simple, unambiguous boundary that you do not cross. Bright lines provide a really clear perspective on what is and what is not acceptable behavior. A rising tide lifts all ships. One rule lifts all others. The byproduct of this single rule is students will pay attention, prioritize listening, follow through with instruction, and ask information-seeking questions.
Great job. Now let's perform our mental mastery routine. Okay, class, close your eyes. Place your right hand on your heart and feel yourself breathing. You're doing fantastic. Keeping your eyes closed, turn your attention inside and pay attention to your thoughts. Good job, students. Now I want you to place yourself with your favorite person, place, or thing. Go to your happy place. Fantastic.
The mental mastery routine takes approximately 90 seconds. The purpose of this routine is to remove any attention residue, drive the attention forward, place the student into the proper state of readiness and positive state of mind. The brain operates up to 31% better in a positive state. The students were instructed to close their eyes. The action of closing the eyes is particularly important simply because when the eyes are closed, it helps decrease the stimuli and promotes an internal awareness. It is important for them to learn to listen to the inner self. In many cases, this is not an easy thing for a student to do. Our students come from various backgrounds and have faced many challenges. To achieve the desired outcome, you'll have to establish rapport and trust with the student. This may not be an easy thing to do, but with practice, it certainly can be done.
As I share today's lesson titled Keep Your Eyes on the Shoreline, see if you can answer the following questions. What is the name of the main character in the story? What was the big idea? Name one or more challenges that she encountered. What happened the first time she tried to swim the distance? What happened on the second try? Back in the 1950s, there was a young lady named Florence Chadwick, and Florence Chadwick could swim. She was the first woman to swim the English Channel in both directions. Florence had a big idea. She wanted to be the first woman to swim the 21 miles from the Catalina Islands to the California shore. Well, Florence went into training, And on July 4th, 1952, she made her way into the water and began the quest to cover the 21 miles. On this particular morning, the water was bone-chilling cold and the fog was very thick. As a safety precaution, on either side of her were boats. The people in the boats had sticks and rifles to protect her from sharks. That's right, sharks! She swam for 15 hours and determined she couldn't go on. The folks in the boats were saying, "Look, Florence, you're so close, you're so close, you're so close." She took a couple of more strokes and simply said, "Look, I'm done." Well, a couple of hours later, Florence was interviewed and she said, "You know, I really wasn't tired or cold." Here's what she said, now pay attention. "If I could have only seen the shoreline, I would have completed my swim. If I could have only seen the shoreline, I'd have finished this thing." The interviewer said, "Florence, did you realize that you were only 800 meters from the shore?" Well, 2 months later, Florence swam the same distance and she broke the men's record by 2 hours. Class, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please turn to page 21 of your Student Success Manual. Let's test your memory and see how many questions you can answer.
Before the video begins, prime the students with the questions you will ask after the lesson is complete. It will help the students drive their attention forward, answer questions correctly, improve the competent confidence loop, resulting in increased self-esteem, self-efficacy, and pride. Well, my friends, that concludes our introduction to ACE and an abbreviated lesson. We hope you have a better understanding of ACE and its benefits. Here's what we know. Our data and the latest research in neuroscience indicate that if we apply the correct science-based protocols, we can teach our students to use their minds correctly, gain control of their thoughts and feelings, and in doing so, change the programming and chemistry in their brains. I find this information very encouraging. My friends, yes, by improving the skills of focus and concentration, we can create an equitable educational experience for our students and create a new generation of champions, highly disciplined students with disciplined thoughts, followed by disciplined actions. The ACE curriculum currently ranges from 6 to 24 lessons, 6 lessons per quarter, or 10 to 12 lessons per semester. If you are interested in bringing the ACE project to your environment, in person, online, or as a hybrid model, please contact us using the information on the screen.